All right, I'm a little bit sunburnt, as you can see. I'm doing Rudolph cosplay. Let's talk about something that I'm a little bit passionate about. And it may not, hold on, it may not make a lot of sense initially when I say it, but afterwards it's gonna start making a whole lot of sense, and you're gonna be like, holy fuck, I never even considered this. Back in the day, I'm 19 years of age, so back in the day for me is like when I first started cooking, 2016, 17, 18. I was like around a nice 12 years of age. Um, right then, or like I guess 2019, right then and there, all the cooking videos on the internet, or at least most of them, were filled with so much wonder, so much joy and amazement. I'm just making sure I'm not leaking anything. No personal information. Everything was new. Every recipe was new, every ingredient was new. And this was true not just for me, but also for everyone in the cooking industry. This is basically the equivalent of like when you first start training, something like any sport, the gym, any martial art, arm wrestling, and then you think, wow, this new movement is everything. This new movement is awesome. Wow, cool. And you respect it, you learn the form. It's like, okay, when I'm doing the rise, grip it like this, stick this finger out a little bit, cover your thumb, the fucking kick back your wrist a little bit, and then rise like that. And rising in arm wrestling is how you get a pretty good advantage over your opponent. But in the gym, it could be like, okay, I'm doing a fucking lat pull down, neutral grip for lat emphasis, stay in the pocket there, bam, bam, there, feel it, and then fucking, you're good to go. In cooking, it was like, wow, this person uses like soy sauce in his fucking marinade to like glaze it afterwards, and all these things. We were excited. Every one of these techniques was exciting. Every one of these techniques was like cool. It was new. As the years go on, excuse me, as the years go on, people get accustomed to things. People get very, very used to things. And before you know it, you go online, you open Instagram, you see a reel, single arm iliac pull down, bam. It should be the most advanced, like sophisticated bodybuilding technique, whatever. Yeah, here, lengthen partials, but lengthen partials was a big thing in 2023. They're fucking completely gone now. But yeah, lengthen partials, don't extend your arm all the way, feel it in the lat, do that. And you see all this science, and you're like, eh. In arm wrestling, you see a new thing that's like, hey, yeah, you can do a supinated rise movement like this, and Devin Laird does that, and it's called Creation against his battle with Vitali, and he does this, and it's kind of like a different movement, and it allows you to climb even higher. And it's a super new, sophisticated technique, which would have excited you a bit ago. The fucking, man. My face got fucking destroyed yesterday. I worked unironically 15 hours, not even joking, outside helping set up an event. But basically, getting back to the video, it was this thing. What? Okay, hold on. Lost my trail of thought. Okay, there we go. So, getting back to the video, after a little bit of time in any industry or business, you learn about a thing, and then when you learn about more and more shit, like a year and a few years in, you start being like, eh, you start getting bored, you start getting used to it. And now, the fact that you're even bored by the new things, then the old things definitely bore you. But the old things are what mattered, the old like ways are what actually mattered. And the fundamentals, like the rising, cup, pronate, whatever the fuck, that's what actually matters. And it's very bad for you now because you were so intrigued, you were so interested in this, and you kept seeking new and new stimulus and new methods. By the time that you're a little bit more advanced, you run the risk of forgetting about the basics. This happens a lot in martial arts because the student wants to learn the new fucking epic technique, bam, pow, elbow, back fist, sneeze on your opponent, whatever, and they forget about just the good old basic, just a basic jab, reverse, fucking hook. That's not how you do a hook. So, similar thing in people with porn addictions. This is something, I know it's like, oh, haha, bro, self-reporting. Thankfully, I was never fallen into this category, but basically, people who have a very, very severe problem with porn and don't even know that it's a bad thing and that like you shouldn't you should fucking remove it from your life instantly. People who haven't made that level one realization yet, they often report the same thing of they start off with like the more tame content, the more like, I don't know, it's just like a video of one woman undressing over the course of fucking 20 minutes, and it's like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. And then year upon year, you end up at the ultimate prestige of this, where you're like genuinely Epstein level, and you have your whole island where you're bringing fucking children to do whatever. And that's just, what's it called? The gradual perversion. Now, obviously, not everyone who watches porn is gonna end up at the fucking Epstein level. That's not what I'm saying, but less extreme example of that is how many of your friends, maybe not your friends, how many people that you've heard online say, like, yeah, I started with this more niche tame, more tame niche, and then ranking up, it's like you need this ultra stimulating new version of whatever. And I know that example is a little bit weird, but it's a bit weird to talk about in a cooking channel and video, but it does fit in perfectly. So, another example of this may be like, in music, if you have that one song that always used to hype you up, now you need like the slowed reverb version of it, the yeet, bass boosted extra special version of it or whatever, or else you're just not gonna get excited, and the bass song doesn't fucking do it for you anymore. It's not enough to hype you up for the gym. This is very, very dangerous, and what's the cure to this? It's to take a step back, relax, drop your shoulders if they were high. Hold on, I wonder if I can, yeah, okay, I can drop them a little bit. And then just realize you're fine. Go back to the basics a little bit and start respecting them, because not one of you motherfuckers watching this, I'd venture to guess that even if Marco Pierre White was watching this, not one of you has mastered the basics of cooking. By definition, I don't really know if it is possible to master something in this world, which is actually why it's so fun to try. Even if someone like Peak, fucking, who's a really good Fortnite player? It was Epic Whale, Renuity, Clicks, fucking Booga, Mongrel. Any of those people, guaranteed they haven't mastered the basics of Fortnite yet. They're really, really good. They're amazing at it. I'm not denying any of this. It's just mastering something is fucking ridiculously difficult. It's probably impossible. Like, has Devin Laird mastered arm wrestling? Compared to everyone else in the world, yes. Compared to the objective standard of, like, having everything perfect? No, because fucking everyone's human. Mostly. No one's perfect. And so the chances that you actually master the basics are going to be super, super low, especially if you're a little shitter who's not even that serious. So, if you're like this little fucking hobgoblin just like wanting to get after the next level and the next level without mastering what's first, trying to run before you can walk, essentially, if you're like on this level, then especially you need to go back to the basics. And respect your ingredients. The reason I said respect your ingredients is because now I'm gonna get into the actual that's my need. Don't worry, I'm not doing anything fucking live leak. But basically, then especially you need to go back and respect your ingredients, because, as I'm gonna get into here, people don't do that. Right now, it's very hard to go on cooking Instagram and find anything that people are liking that is basic. What I mean is, before, just a simple recipe, it can even be a shit recipe, of making bread, just baking bread, would be really liked, would be really well received, and like, wow, you can make bread at home, I didn't even know. Because most people who, before cooking, blew up on social media, and if they didn't have, like, I don't know, their mom and grandma teaching them how to cook, they just had no fucking idea, like, what do you mean this is dough? Like, what do you, like, this is sticky substance and I just put it in the oven and it works? Like, but as of now, as cooking becomes more and more popular, people start getting less and less interested in just the basics, to where now you need a fucking brown butter miso glazed croissant just to be picked up. I'm saying that example because I actually had one of those and it was lovely, it was delicious. This has some upsides, such as it progresses the craft arguably, because the idea is that if you master the basics, then you can move on to the next level. But it also has a downside. Excuse me, I thought that was gonna fall over. It also has a pretty severe downside of I'm just thinking about how my neck is small. I need to start training it better. So it also has a severe downside of when someone hasn't mastered the basics yet. Well, not even mastered, because I just established that you probably can't master the basics, because there's so much to learn that no one's perfect, and mastering it implies that it's perfect. But people who aren't even good at the basics, they're gonna skip the step. And this happens in training, right? You get this fucking people who bench 115 pounds, not kilos, and then they go up to the fucking jack guy and they're like, actually, your way of training is wrong and you should use more cables. Like, cool. There was this one kid where, I don't know, he was, there was this one kid we talked to in last year of college a little bit, and he was basically explaining how actually our way of training was wrong, and we entertained the conversation, but it's like, no, but it's like all of us were fucking intermediate lifters, like, I don't know, 405 squat, 470 deadlift. I don't have the 470 deadlift, but I do have the former. So, like, I don't know, 4-plate deadlift and above. I had, like, probably the shittiest deadlift of the people who were there. 20 rep squats with 225, fucking bench 2 plates, weighted pull up, a plate easily at like close to 200 pounds body weight, because that does make a difference. Fucking barbell row 2 plates like it's nothing. Like, we had a pretty good base of strength, like curl a good amount, like we had a pretty good base of strength, and this fucking kid was except in my neck, where I need to work on, like overhead press a plate fucking easily. We had a pretty good base of strength, and we're also bulking hard, and we're like training hard. This kid was like explaining how actually no, that not specifically our method of training, but that we were talking about a method that we were using, and they were talking about like, and like this guy was mentioning how that was actually shit. Like, we were talking about super squats, and he was talking about like how actually super squats is shit. And it's like, okay, cool, but you're 140 pounds, like, and not even like phenomenally lean. Like, can we get back to the basics, please, a little bit? Because he was like more into what's it called? Like science-based lifting. No, but he was a very nice guy, so this isn't like a insult on his character, but all of us are guilty of doing this at one point or another. I used to be so fucking guilty of doing this, not with exercise selection, but more of programming in training, with like talking to girls like, oh, what's the optimal hairstyle for me? Should I do this or that? And it's like, the real thing is, do you actually speak to women? No. Like, bro, what the fuck is your problem then? How do you expect to make a difference? It's the people who like change their YouTube profile picture without actually uploading. It's just all these majoring in the minors, basically, when you don't have the basics down. But it's in a slightly different angle here with cooking, because with cooking, people just stop appreciating the basic ingredients, like just ground beef, cooked, seared, salt, pepper. You have it with a potato, you have it with rice, and you're good. I don't understand why it's super difficult or super like, fuck me, my throat is absolutely like, I had a long day. I had a long 2 days before this. What was I talking about? Yeah, anyways, just fucking, you can't just have a normal meal. Everything has to be a soy miso glazed thing with this special ingredient and this special like method of preparation where if you sous vide something, it's not even seen as cool anymore, whereas previously if you sous vide something, it was like the nicest thing ever because barely anyone did it. That's why Guga became popular, because everyone was super excited about like, wow, you vacuum seal the steak and then you submerge it in hot but not boiling water. There's the steak example where like right now if you pull out Wagyu on a video, little kids will be like, okay, but why isn't it dry aged? And it's like, please kill yourself in a Minecraft. First of all, you eat your chicken nuggets, so don't talk to me about why the Wagyu isn't dry aged. And number two, if you pulled out Wagyu, the ungrateful swine, if you pulled out Wagyu in a video 10 years ago, you would get insta million subscribers. Wow, what the fuck? I've never seen that before in my life. It's so cool. This video changed my life. So there's something to be said there. A part of it is probably that the standards have gone up. Same thing with physique inflation. Yeah. So a good part of it is probably that the standards have gone up, which is good because I'm all for pushing the level higher and higher, and natural limit doesn't exist, and bodybuilding and all that. And I'm all for doing these things. But at another point, which is equally as valid, is not that it's just the levels being pushed up and up, but that people are fucking skipping out on the basic and trying to do the more advanced things before they really have the merit to. Hope I explain myself well here. I'm gonna drag this video out for 1648 until the timestamp 1648, as is customary. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.